Hi, I'm John Trapp with Rocky Mountain's Incident Management Team 6 in the Northern Rockies. I'm a fire behavior analyst trainee, and I'm going to talk a little bit about the factors that affect fire behavior on our fire that we're dealing with here, which is a Shovel Creek fire. So fire behavior is really influenced by three factors: fuels, weather, and topography. And I'll talk about it a little bit here using our actual fire perimeter. This is our latest fire perimeter. And so talking about fuels, we have some interesting fuel types. We have black spruce, and we also have some stands of deciduous trees like birch and aspen. So fuels really impact how the fire moves across the landscape. In addition to those tree species, we have tundra, which is a very thick mat of vegetation that's in some cases 6-8 inches deep in thickness. And that also affects fire behavior because it provides a place for fire and heat to hold up in certain times. And that's where we are in this phase. When you see these burned out areas, these are the fire moving through the tree species, primarily black spruce. But that fire has settled down currently, and it has dropped down, and it's in the tundra mats throughout the fire area, which is causing the challenges that we have in fire suppression, because that heat can be resident in those tundra mats for weeks. And if the temperature or if the weather changes, then we have increasing temperatures and lowering relative humidities. That allows that heat to come out of those tundra mats and also become active on the surface and potentially get into the trees again and start moving, which is the challenge that we had here. So that does provide challenges when our ground crews are down and they have to dig into those tundra mats to figure out where those heat sources are. And then the last factor that affects fire behavior is the topography. If you look closely on this map, you'll see what we call contour lines that are through the area. That helps us look at the map and understand which way there's little troughs and peaks and drainages that run through this area. And it's pretty complex. So fire behavior is also affected by topography. If you have slopes, fire tends to want to move upslope, but you also have slopes that are affected by heating of the sun, where you have winds that come up the slope one part of the day and down the slope another part of the day. So this fire perimeter that you see are a factor of these three things: fuels, weather, and topography. Fire is currently settled down, but we're monitoring it to see where it's going to happen.